Hello, friends. Good evening. Welcome to CLATZY. Let's start our discussion for today. Yesterday, we discussed the concept of communication of an offer. We saw that an offer is not valid or complete until it is communicated to the offeree. So basically, until the offeree has the knowledge of the offer, there is no offer. And we saw two examples yesterday. First example was that of a missing child, where the servant had gone to look for the missing child without being aware of the fact that there was an offer stating that anyone who could bring the child back to the father would get 500 rupees. Since the servant was not even aware of the offer, therefore he could not have conveyed his acceptance to it. And the second example that we had seen was the swimming example, where we saw that there was an offer stating anyone who could swim across the river would get 100 rupees. And there was a person who was already in the river, he was drowning, and to save himself he swam across the river. And after that he got to know about this offer when he saw the billboard stating this advertisement. However, the court in this scenario said that since he was not aware of this offer, again he could not have conveyed his acceptance. Today we will start with another concept, which is again a part of our offer series. Basically, we will talk about types of offer, and we will look at the most important ones. So first is specific offer. Now this is something that we keep coming across in our daily lives. What is a specific offer? uh, let's understand this with the help of an example. When you go to a bookshop and you want to purchase a book, you tell the shopkeeper that I want to purchase this book. Will you sell this book to me? Then the shopkeeper says, yes, I will sell this book to you at this price. And then you say, okay, I'm fine with the price. Let's conclude this sale. Now in this example, if you notice, there are two parties, A, B. A is the buyer, let's say you, and B is the shopkeeper. Now if you noticed, you're talking about a specific set of people, A and B. A is the offerer, B is the offeree. That is what we mean by specific offer. When an offer is made to a specific offeree, which means that offeree is known beforehand. You know who the offeree is. And this is the kind of contract or agreement that we keep coming across in our day-to-day lives. You want to sell your pen to, again, we will take the pen example because it is the most simple one. You want to sell your pen to somebody. you know who you want to sell this pen to, you know who the offeree is. So the simple, whenever you want to understand whether there is a specific offer or not, whether there is a specific offer or not, you just have to answer one point, which is, do you know who the offeree is? If yes, it is a specific offer. Another type of offer is a general offer. If you remember, yesterday we had taken a couple of examples when we were talking about communication of an offer. The first example was that of a missing child, and the second example was swimming across the river. Now, if you remember, in both these scenarios, what was the offer? Let's recall. Here, the offer was whoever finds the child and brings him back will get a certain amount of money. In this scenario, whoever swims across the river will get a specific prize. Now the question is, if you compare it with specific offer, compare this with the specific offer. In the specific offer scenario, we saw that the offeree is known to the offerer. Offerer knows who he is making that offer to. But in a general offer, if you noticed, you would have observed that offeree, specific offeree, is not known. You do not know who will bring the child back. You do not know who will swim across the river. You have made this offer. This offer has been made to the world at large. Which means that anyone can accept this offer. There is no specific offeree. Again, compare it with the specific offer. Let's compare it with the specific offer. In specific offer, we had seen that there were two people, A and B. A wanted to buy the book from B. Now let's say when A tells B that I want to buy this book from you for 100 rupees. Could a third party, let's call him C, could a third party, let's say C is also a shopkeeper. C is also a shopkeeper. And C also has the same book. And C listens to this offer from A. So before B conveys his acceptance, let's say C tells A that yes, I am willing to sell this book to you for rupees 100. Question is it a valid agreement between A and C? Now, for the time being, we have not discussed about each and every element of an agreement in detail, but logically speaking, think like this. A made an offer to B. A made an offer to B. and A wanted an acceptance from B, not from C, then how could C have been a party to this agreement? It's not logically possible. So, in a specific offer, only the specific offeree can accept the offer. Okay, clear? Try to remember it with the help of this book example where a random third party, which is C, decides to agree. But unfortunately, he cannot accept this offer since the offer was never made to him. Okay. However, when we compare it with a general offer, now in a general offer, anyone could accept the offer. Okay, so let's write it side by side. General offer, specific offer. Anyone who has to general offer, anyone who has knowledge of the offer can accept the offer, whereas in a specific offer, only the specific offeree can accept, which means that a third party cannot accept the offer because the offer was not made to him. Okay, we will be able to understand this with the help of a famous example, which is also known as the smoke ball case. Now, in this case, there was a company, there was a company, a company made an offer. Company made an offer saying whoever whoever takes our medicine as per the prescription and still catches influenza will receive £100. So basically, the offer was that if you take our medicine and you consume it in the manner that we tell you to, but you still catch this disease called influenza, we will give you a prize money of £100. So in this way, they were advertising their medicine. So there was a lady who takes the medicine, in the manner instructed by the company, still catches the disease. Now this lady demands £100 from the medicine company. The company refuses. So therefore, the matter goes to the court. The company says, lady is not entitled to receive £100. Why? Because we did not make an offer specifically to her. And second, the lady never communicated her acceptance. So basically, the company was trying to get away, uh, get out of their, get away, get away, or you could say, get out of their obligations under this agreement by saying that we never made an offer to this lady in particular. We never said that, okay, we are making this offer to this lady called B. And second, even if let's say this offer was made to anybody, this lady never came back and told us that yes, she had accepted the offer. Then how could a valid and binding contract or agreement be formed when there was no acceptance on the part of the lady? But the court said, look, this is a general offer and not a specific offer. So, even if you did not make an offer to this lady particularly, yet your offer could be accepted by her as it was an offer made to the world at large. In short, this was a general offer and not a specific offer. Anybody could come forward and accept your offer because this is what your condition said. You said specifically, anybody who takes this medicine in the manner instructed by us and still catches this disease, we will give them £100. So this lady and anybody else could have come forward, fulfilled the conditions of your offer, and be entitled to the reward that you promised. Now, this brings us to another difference between general offer and specific offer, which is about mode of acceptance. In a general offer, you do not need to explicitly convey your acceptance. What does it mean? It simply means that you do not need to go and tell the offerer that, oh, I agree with your offer. You do not need to do that. So, how do you communicate your acceptance? By fulfilling the terms of the offer. That is it. You just need to fulfill the terms of the offer. Now, let's take the examples from yesterday. Anybody who finds my missing son and brings him back to me is entitled to this much award money. So the offeree does not need to go and tell the offerer that I agree with your offer or I accept your offer. He or she does not need to do that. He or she only needs to go find the boy and bring him back to the offerer. That is it. That is your acceptance in this scenario because it is a general offer. Similarly, in the swimming example, the offeree need not tell the offerer that, okay, I accept your offer, I will swim across this river. The offeree just needs to fulfill the terms of the offer, which is to swim across the river. The moment he does so, he is entitled to the reward. Similarly, in the smoke ball case, the influenza medicine case, anybody who is consuming the medicine need not go and tell the medicine company that I am I accept your offer, and I'm going to consume your medicine in the manner as directed. What is required to be done is mere performance of the conditions, which is that you take the medicine in the manner as the company has directed, and if you still catch influenza, you are entitled to the prize money. But in a specific offer, the offeree needs to explicitly convey his acceptance to the offerer, which means that in the book example that we saw, A makes an offer to B saying that I want to purchase this book at 100 rupees. B needs to tell A that I accept your offer. If B doesn't tell A that he accepts the offer, then A is not bound by this offer. So basically, let's say B does not say anything to A, then A can go ahead and conclude the deal with a third party C. Okay, so this is the basic difference between general offer and specific offer. To summarize, you can remember 2 points. First is that a specific offer is made to a specific person, which is that the offeree is known, whereas a general offer is made to the world at large, which means that it is made to a large set of people without you being aware of who the offeree is. So there is no specific knowledge about the offeree. And second difference is that in a specific offer, the offeree needs to specifically convey his or her acceptance to the offer. Whereas in a general offer, there is no obligation on the offeree to convey his acceptance. The offeree just needs to perform the conditions of the offer. Okay. So we will talk about a couple more types of offers. So till now we saw specific, general. Let's talk about one more type of offer, which is implied. Now, most of the offers that we discussed or that you keep coming across daily are explicit offers, which means that one party is making an offer to another explicitly. However, there are a few scenarios where the offer is implied. That is, you have to look at the conduct of the parties. Let's take an example. You go to a restaurant, you see a bottle of mineral water. The moment you sit on the table, you open this water bottle and you take a sip of water from the bottle. After that, you don't eat anything, but the waiter gives you a bill. Okay, this is rupees 20. You consumed water worth 20 rupees. Now, ask yourself, did the restaurant and you enter into any kind of agreement? Was there any offer? Was there any acceptance? Because if there was no such, let's say you come to a conclusion that no, there was no offer because I did not tell the restaurant that I want to purchase this bottle for 20 rupees or I want to eat something. You never said that. But still, your conduct what was your conduct here? Your conduct clearly showed that there was an offer made by you, which was that you wanted to purchase a bottle of water for rupees 20, and there was an implied acceptance on the part of the restaurant owner as well, because they let you drink that bottle of water for 20 rupees. So in this case, there is no explicit offer and acceptance, but only an implied one, which is derived from the conduct of the parties. Another example that can help you understand the concept of implied offer is, let's say you live in a rented apartment. You live in a rented apartment. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay your rent on the last day of the month. Okay, and your agreement duration is, so your agreement is for 11 months. You have paid your rent for all 11 months. However, you do not vacate your house in the 12th month, and you keep living in the same house in the 12th month also, despite the fact that the agreement was only for 11 months. Question is, are you obligated to pay the rent for 12th month when there was no written agreement? Why no written agreement? Because your original agreement was only for 11 months. The answer is yes. Answer is yes, you will have to pay. Why? Because in this case, there is an implied offer. The fact that you continued living in that house, and also the fact that the owner of the house let you live in that house, clearly shows that there was an arrangement between the parties, okay, to live in that house for the 12th month as well. Therefore, you are obligated to pay the rent for the 12th month. So this brings us to our conclusion with respect to implied offers. So implied offers are basically those offers which are not explicitly spelled out, which means that you will not find this offer either mentioned on a piece of paper, or you will not even find this kind of offer being spelled out verbally by the parties. So basically, an implied offer is not put on paper, is not spelled out verbally. Then what is it? It is derived from the conduct of parties. Okay, so that will take us to the end of our discussion. Today's summary, we discussed about types of offers, and we saw three kinds of offers: specific, general, implied. Okay, specific was when an offer was made to a specific person. General was when an offer was made to the world at large and not to a specific person. Implied was when you make an offer through your conduct and you do not necessarily spell it out, or you do not put it in writing, but through your conduct it is obvious that you are making an offer. Okay, so we will leave it at that, because today's discussion has become slightly technical. So I would suggest that you go and revise all these things, and then we will start a fresh discussion tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good night.